Hi friends, Shay here. So I'm doing a video that's a little bit different than my normal videos. I don't do these very often, but I am genuinely excited to be filming this. So what I'm doing is I have three very popular series that I have arcs of the next installments, and they all come out the same day. So they're all going to be competing against one another. So I decided to do a reading vlog where I react to all of them. So that's what this video is going to be. I hope you guys enjoy it. So in this one, the first one I will be reading is Last Guard by Neilani Singh, which is the next book in the Side Changeling universe. Technically, it's book 5 in the Side Changeling Trinity series, and I'm loving it so far. It's actually a romance with two Sai, and so it's a very interesting dynamics because they were both Isai, with obviously having to hide who they were. If you've read the series, you know what I'm talking about. If not, these mild spoilers are kind of going over your head. But either way, these two knew each other as children, so it's a childhood friends. You know, he's been obsessed with her since, looking for her, and knew she had to be protected or dead. And so he had one last inclination and tried, and she's actually this very powerful, very adept, very well respected Sai, and she has a big Sai family who have kind of buried all of the, you know, em- empathetic or empathic sides of her. And so it's so good so far. I'm like, I don't remember how far in. I'm like 15 to 20% in, somewhere in that percentage range. But I'm really liking it. He, because of what happened to them as kids, he's actually in a wheelchair now, because his legs don't work. Everything else seems to work, but his legs don't. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. I'm really enjoying it so far. And yes, so when I have more to say on that, I will be back. And yeah, I'm not going to tell you the other two until I get there. So it's just going to be a surprise, unless I decide to put it all in the thumbnail. We'll see. Alrighty, so it's actually been a couple of days since that first clip. I'm now 55% of the way into Last Guard by Neilani Singh. Payal and Kanto are amazing characters. I really love what's happening because there's been this group of Sai that have been totally like ignored while the Sai net's been falling apart, but they are like the anchors. They're the core of what keeps the Sai net running, and they don't have enough of them, and that's why the Sai net keeps falling apart. So it's really interesting. So like the world, I feel like, kind of cracked open. We're getting to know new characters, and we'll have a lot of options on where she can go from here as an author. But the connection that Payal and Kanto have is from their childhood, from a childhood trauma that they both went through and shared together. And for years, Kanto has been looking for her, and like her true identity was buried super deep. And he, you know, thought on a hunch it might be her, and it ended up being her. And just the way that she's relaxing a little bit and sharing her true self with him instead of the silent self that she shares with the rest of the world, it's amazing. I love it so much. I just love this series, guys. Like, the Side Changeling Trinity series, I think, is superior to the Side Changeling series, just because I feel like Neilani Singh knows what she wants to happen with the world better now. And so it's just really cool. I'm really invested in for the long haul. If you stopped at the end of the Side Changeling series, I highly recommend going on to Side Changeling Trinity. We do see a lot of the Bearer Pack, even though they're both Sai. Basically, we're dealing with Kanto is Silver Mercant's cousin. So he relocated near where the Bear Clan is. And so we do get a lot of interactions with the Bear Pack through Silver because he and Silver are close. So it's fantastic. I'm loving it so, so much. I probably won't check in again until I finish because I'm over halfway through now. And so, yeah, but I don't see this being below like a 4.5 star at this point. Something really traumatic and bad would have to happen where it just didn't work for the book or the series for me to give it less than a 4.5. It may be a 5. We'll see how things wrap up. But yes, I'm very, very invested. And then I think from there, I'm going to go on to Isn't It Bromantic? Because this one's been a little bit heavy. I think that one's going to be a little bit lighter, a little more rom-com-y. And then we'll go to the other one. Sorry if you hear my neighbors mowing. Like, once one stops, the next one starts. I've been trying to film this clip for a little while. So I did finish Last Guard by Neilani Singh. It's perfection. I love Kanto and Payal so much. This is one of my favorite couplings in all of Side Changeling. I know not everybody loved this one as much as I have, but man, I am sold. I love their dynamic, and he would burn the world for her, and she would burn the world for him. And I love their dynamic, and this is really moving the series forward. Because for a while it kind of felt like things stagnated a little bit in like the overarching storyline, but now this gave us a lot of movement and progression, and it was just so good. So good, so amazing, and I'm so excited to see what happens in the next book. So I'm waiting with everybody else, of course, but man, read Last Guard. It's so good. Really enjoyed. Giving it 5. It was fantastico. And now I'm going to move on to Isn't It Bromantic by Alyssa K. Adams. This one is the Russian, and I've been waiting for this book for a long time, and I'm ready. So let's go. Hello, it's the next morning, and I have started Isn't It Bromantic by Alyssa K. Adams, and this book is going to be really sweet. So essentially, we have Vlad the Russian and his wife, Elena. So the thing is, Vlad and Elena got married so that she could come to the U.S. and study because she wants to be a journalist. But in the beginning of the book, when she shows up at the wedding in the previous book, we find out that the reason why Vlad looks so sad that she's there is because she said she's going back to Russia. But what's happened now is Vlad got injured on the ice because he plays hockey. He's a professional hockey player, and he's laid up, and Elena wanted to take care of him, but he made a knee-jerk reaction and tried to push her away because he thinks it'll be too hard to let her go if she's there and caring for him so deeply and so tenderly. So I definitely think either he's going to have to go to Russia to get her, or she will end up taking care of him and some things. So I'm really loving it so far. These marriage and trouble books that Alyssa K. Adams writes are so good and so unique. I just love them. I love them so much. So much. So yeah, just know that that's what I'm reading today, and I'm loving it. And so I'm hoping to finish this and one more tomorrow, so that we have kind of the 3 that are all coming out on Tuesday. But yeah, I'm going to take a little break from reading. I'm going to go relax, eat some lunch, things like that. And then I'm going to come back and get this finished. Y'all, he's writing a book. He's so in love with her, and he's writing a romance novel. And all the bromance guys, like the book club, just found out, and I'm like crying and dying. And I love this book. This is my favorite book in the bromance book, like the bromance series so far. Like, I keep crying. This is like the 3rd time I've cried, and I'm on like just about to start chapter 7. Like, this is a problem, guys. So I'm going to take a break, let myself breathe. I'm going to like go take a shower and just kind of like chill out and relax for a little bit and then get back to it because, hi. So it's been hours since I last talked to you, and I finished Isn't It Bromantic? And this is my favorite book in this bromance book club series to date. I love Vlad so much more, even more so than I did before. And I love Elena. I love the way they came about their relationship. I was so consumed by this book, I couldn't even hardly film clips. Like, I cried multiple times reading this. I love this so much. These are 2 people who entered a marriage of convenience for kind of different reasons. And they learned more about themselves and what they needed out of life and out of a partner and out of a family throughout the course of the novel, and I love this. And they were childhood friends. He's been pining for her forever. Like, there is a plot point I'm not going to share because it's spoilers, but that plot point, like, shook me. I did not understand until it got to that point. It's like, oh. But yes, I love it. Please read Isn't It Bromantic? Even if you haven't read any of the other books in the Bromance Book Club series, you can still read this. I mean, you won't have some of the nuance and some of the, like, attachment to Vlad that I have because I've read them all. But honestly, it stands on its own. It is a solid fixing a marriage of convenience kind of story, and I loved it. Vlad is the marshmallow of my dreams, and there's a new guy that's entered the picture. His name is Cheese Man. I hope we get a Cheese Man book, just saying. And I think the next book is going to be The Rock Star, and a girl that we technically met in the book before this, in Crazy Stupid Bromance. Her name's Michelle. She works at Alexis's cat cafe, and she's really good friends with Vlad, and they kind of get to know each other in this book. And so I think we're going to get a pairing for them, and I'm down for it. Like, I'm so down for it. Like, please, Lisa K. Adams, if you ever see this, please write that book. I would read the snot out of that book because I'm already into their dynamic. So yes, anyways, let's jump into the final book here. Hey guys, so I am here to close out this vlog. So I finished Hot Under His Collar, and I ended up giving it a very generous 3 stars because I think I'm just, like, jaded for this trope now, I think is what's going on. So in this one, we have 2 very attractive people who are very attracted to each other. She's an event planner. He just happens to be a priest. And he wasn't always a priest. It seems like a bad breakup led to him being a priest. And yeah, it's not like Priest by Sierra Simone where where they both grow closer to faith through the process of them having a relationship. This is just, it's very 2-dimensional. And after reading something as deep and moving as Priest by Sierra Simone, this one just felt like a budget D-list movie. I hate to say it. I did not really end up enjoying this one, and I think with that, I'm not going to be picking up any more Andy J. Christopher books. I really didn't like the first one, felt lukewarm about the second one, and again, really kind of didn't like this third one. So I've tried 3 of her books now, and I think I just have to let it go, and this is just an author that isn't for me. So this book isn't necessarily bad. It didn't necessarily do anything wrong. I think I just went in with very different expectations due to my previous reading experiences with a priest romance. I've only read Priest by Sierra Simone at this point, and like, I didn't enjoy this one, and I'm sad. I really was hoping to enjoy it. I thought, oh, this is a trope I really like. I bet you this is going to be the one that works for me, and it just didn't. So with that said, sorry to end this vlog on a bummer, but 2 out of 3 were really, really good. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts, and please go support these releases. They are out today, and thank you to Berkeley and to Netgalley for giving me access to these books before release date. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.